Have you ever seen someone humiliated so cruelly that you wished justice would strike instantly? What if I told you that sometimes justice doesn't wait for tomorrow? It walks in through the front gates wearing stars on its shoulders. This is one of those stories. A story that began with bullying, pride, and arrogance, but ended with three generals standing before hundreds of silent cadets, shutting down a military base in shame. Before we begin, welcome to Grow for Justice, where real stories of courage, truth, and redemption come alive. If you're watching right now, make sure you subscribe to our channel and tell us in the comments where you're watching from. Now, let's begin. Her name was Cadet Elena Ramirez, 20 years old, sharp, disciplined, and fiercely determined. She had earned her place at Westlake Military Academy after surviving what most wouldn't. Her father was a retired Army medic, her mother a nurse who worked double shifts to afford Elena's tuition. She wasn't from a military family of privilege. She was from grit, sweat, and sacrifice. The academy, however, had its hierarchy. Cadets from decorated families, children of colonels, generals, and politicians, often treated recruits like Elena as outsiders. They had never known what hunger or humiliation felt like. They mocked her second-hand uniform, her accent, even the patch she'd stitched herself. But Elena had one rule: never bow to cruelty. One cold Friday evening, during final drills before inspection, tension erupted. The senior cadets, led by Cadet Captain Mason Clark, the son of a powerful Air Force general, decided to teach her a lesson. She had embarrassed them earlier that week by outperforming Mason in endurance and tactical response tests. Her quiet excellence was becoming a threat to their fragile pride. As the drill ended and the hallways emptied, Elena stayed behind to clean up. The sound of boots echoed down the stairwell behind her. She turned, saw four cadets closing in. Their smiles weren't friendly. Mason smirked, arms folded, and said, "You think you belong here, Ramirez? You think you can outrun me, outshoot me, outshine me?" She didn't answer. She just looked him in the eye. That silent defiance burned his ego. "Say something," he barked, stepping closer. She said quietly, "If you were half the soldier your uniform says you are, you wouldn't need to prove it by hurting someone weaker." The words struck deep. Mason's face twisted in rage. Before Elena could react, one of the cadets shoved her hard. Her foot slipped on the steel edge of the stairs. She tumbled down, once, twice, three times, her head hitting the railing as she fell to the bottom. A sickening thud. Silence. The cadets froze. Mason's face drained of color. One of them whispered, "She's not moving." Panic set in. They ran, left her lying there. Minutes later, a janitor found her unconscious, blood pooling beneath her shoulder. The alarm spread fast. Paramedics rushed her to the academy's infirmary. A broken collarbone, deep bruises, mild concussion. But she was alive. The incident could have been buried, like so many others. But fate had different plans. Unbeknownst to the cadets, security cameras in the stairwell had captured everything. Every shove, every smirk, every second of cruelty. The footage was sent directly to the Academy's Central Command archives, footage that, by sheer chance, was being reviewed that night by a visiting colonel named Sarah Whitmore, an inspector known for her zero-tolerance stance on misconduct. When Colonel Whitmore saw the video, she didn't hesitate. She made two calls, one to the base commandant and one directly to the Pentagon. By morning, three black SUVs rolled through the Academy gates. Out stepped General Raymond Carter, General William Hayes, and General Sophia Grant, three of the highest-ranking officers overseeing military education programs nationwide. Their arrival turned the base silent. Cadets froze mid-march. Officers stopped mid-sentence. The generals didn't smile. They didn't salute. They walked straight into the central hall, where all cadets were ordered to assemble. Mason Clark and his group stood among them, pale, sweating, pretending nothing had happened. But the tension in the room was electric. Then General Carter's voice boomed through the speakers. Last night, a cadet was attacked in this institution by her own peers. Murmurs rippled across the hall. Mason's jaw clenched. General Grant continued. We have reviewed the surveillance footage. There is no confusion. No doubt. What we saw disgraces the uniform you wear. A large screen behind them flickered to life. The footage played in silence. The shove, the fall, the impact. Gasps filled the hall. Some cadets turned away in shock. Mason's knees weakened. His face drained of blood. General Hayes stepped forward, eyes like fire. This academy was built on honor, discipline, and brotherhood. Last night, that foundation was shattered by cowardice. He paused, scanning the rows of faces. Cadet Mason Clark and those involved are hereby stripped of rank, expelled effective immediately, and referred for criminal prosecution under military code. Mason tried to speak, but General Grant silenced him with a glare. Don't. Your father's name won't save you here. Then came the moment no one saw coming. General Carter turned to the commandant and said, effective immediately, Westlake Academy operations are suspended pending full investigation. No cadet will return until this institution remembers what it means to wear this uniform. The hall erupted into whispers. They were shutting down the base. Outside, news crews began gathering. Word had spread faster than wildfire. A military academy shut down over a bullying scandal. The public demanded justice, and they got it. Elena woke up that afternoon to find Colonel Whitmore sitting beside her hospital bed. They know, the colonel said softly. The general saw everything. You did nothing wrong. You stood tall, Ramirez. Tears welled in Elena's eyes, not from pain, but from relief. For once, the truth had won. Days later, as she recovered, something incredible happened. A formal ceremony was held, private, quiet, but powerful. General Grant herself pinned a silver commendation medal on Elena's hospital gown. For courage, integrity, and the unshakable spirit of a true soldier, she said. The kind of strength we wish every cadet had. Elena didn't feel like a hero. She had scars, both visible and hidden. But when she looked into the eyes of the general standing before her, she realized something. Justice isn't about revenge. It's about restoring dignity. Mason Clark and his accomplices faced charges for assault and conduct unbecoming of an officer. Their families tried to intervene, but the generals made it clear, no one is above honor. The academy eventually reopened months later, restructured, reformed, with stricter codes of conduct and new leadership. A plaque was placed near the stairwell where it all began. It read, in honor of Cadet Elena Ramirez, who stood her ground when others fell silent. She returned, not as a victim, but as a symbol. Cadets who once mocked her now saluted her. And when new recruits asked about her story, instructors told them, that's the cadet who reminded the entire Army what integrity looks like. So, the next time someone tries to tell you that one person can't make a difference, remember Elena. Because one person with courage can shake an entire system. That if this story moved you, make sure to subscribe to Grow for Justice. Because we share stories that the world needs to hear. Stories of courage, truth, and real justice. And tell me in the comments, where are you watching from? Let's see how far the voice of justice travels.